So the question is, why did Higgy Bear lie about the location of that Jeep? Would you stop with those stupid things? I'm talking about the girl that I'm in love with, and all you're doing, I'm about to cry.
I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. Everybody follow along while my nephew raw dogs a flight.
Upstairs in the bedroom. She was lying in bed. I went up to the bedroom, took off my clothes, jumped in bed.
And so you were wet as well when you walked in, right?
Bing, bang, boom with themselves.
It sounds like me every night, pretty much, since I'm married. Lawyer, you know, said that? I'm the one who has to be funny. He's good looking. He doesn't need to be funny. That
like
good looking son of a
Rob.
bitch.
What kind of relationship? A buddy-buddy relationship?
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship.
A romantic relationship, Mr. Higgins?
It's possible.
Right.
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship. It's possible. Sending somebody flowers? It's possible.
I'm Emily C. You might know me as Hank Brennan or Cuddly but Dangerous Higgy Bear.
Cuddly but violent, Higgy Bear.
Today I'm just me. It's going to be a great day because of the guest that I have to talk to today. My favorite content is anything that I can learn from, that's insightful and informative, but that's also entertaining and that I can laugh about. And nobody does that better than the Loophole Lawyer.
I'm not the type of person that needs someone to stroke their ego.
Loophole Lawyer.
It's a Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Hey, John, shut up, will you? You got the job.
Hey, it's me and Vince the Lawyer here. Scola!
I'll give him a sub. Loophole Lawyer, quoting the Loophole Lawyer.
You know how we feel about Vince here on the show. If there was a Hall of Fame, Vince's statue would be at the front of the building. Dare I say, my friend, welcome Vince the Lawyer.
My next guest is an amazing talent. Not only is he an amazing lawyer, but the guy is funny, he's creative.
Nor am I the type of person to archive whenever someone says something good about me.
You've got to see some of the stuff that he's done on the internet. Guys, it's Vince the Lawyer.
Vince is a gangster.
Loophole Lawyer. Love to talk about him. It was one of his videos that Cosgrove linked about the Higgy and the rhino. Yes, exactly. And he says he hired a real rhino for that and it wasn't AI. It was funny.
Vinny's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a Vinny.
Vince, attorney at law. I love Vince so much. So much.
Attorney is correct.
But that's our attorney, too.
Now he's like, it's our attorney. What do you mean it's your both attorney? He's paying the attorney. Vincent and Bessie, he's always helped us out.
Call Vinny.
He wants us to be mad at Vinny.
Do you want us to be mad at Vinny?
Yes.
I'm not mad at Vinny for doing that. I'm just not. And you have no right to be mad at Vinny because you wouldn't even be at the Yankee game without Vinny.
Vinny!
Is Vinny really a lawyer? Is that who he is?
Yeah, pretty good too.
Nor am I the type of person to archive whenever someone says something good about me.
The Loophole Lawyer. How are you?
I'm doing well, but that's why I have an appeal for your show, because you have no problem just talking and you're very authentic, and that's hard to find.
I don't feel comfortable at all doing it. Bing, bang, boom with themselves, and I would like to get better at that.
It sounds like me every night, pretty much, since I'm married. Aren't we going to play that game first? Because I love that.
Yes, I was just about to say, but the very first thing that I need to do is ask you.
Right now, I feel a little bit stressed. What is that? Nemo? That fish right there? I guess I'm a little confused, too. And which one are you?
I feel a little bit silly today. I feel a little bit like that little teal whale. Just a little loopy.
Good, yeah. So what is your background?
I was a kindergarten teacher for 15 years. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom.
And I'm going to preface all this. It's so easy for you and I to sit here and criticize them because we didn't go through it. I get that. And I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I'm just basically giving my analysis of it. And I could have made even worse mistakes than the ones I point out. But either way, there's always room to improve.
Colin and Brian started it, and Chloe jumped in, and Higgy pulled Chloe off.
The biggest mistake we made in trial number 1 was not realizing that Brian Higgins had such a huge motive. And more importantly, we had documented evidence that he was threatening John O'Keefe just 30 minutes before he attacked him.
Higgins goes to raise his arm and shout to the victim. Chris Albert aggressively grabs his forearm. Notice that Chris is grasping Higgins' shirt so tightly that you can see tension in the fabric.
We missed that completely. So if you want to say how great that team was, and they are, this was a huge miss. And it threw off the entire case because we had to figure out somebody else that punched John one time and John's head hit something. So we looked for another person, and you looked at that group, and no one in there is going to do that besides a Brian Albert Sr. Utilizing Colin was such a distraction, and 10 people thought that Karen was guilty. You know how crazy that is and how close she was to going to prison?
The idea in the first trial that they put John out on the lawn to die was a hard one, I think, for jurors to swallow.
You bring up a great point, because what Dr. La Posada clearly proves is that once he hits that head, he's never moving again on his own. So that would mean that he had to hit his head right there unless somebody moved him. And you would not get that type of injury hitting the grass / snow.
How hard was the ground?
Yeah, and it's just not going to happen. So that means that he was hit one time somewhere else. And that's really where I'm stuck on now. We're going to find out. I have to figure out where Higgins attacked John O'Keefe. Was it outside or was it inside? And the way those kids testified, they never knew that John O'Keefe was attacked.
So when did Jen McCabe find out, in your theory?
Jen! No one's ever told her. This is between Brian Albert.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, and good afternoon to the jury.
Brian Higgins.
I had been working closely with his unit.
And Berkowitz. Those are the three people that you have to focus on when we're going to solve this crime.
Not Tully?
Tully wasn't there. The opportunity means that you had to be within arm's length of John O'Keefe between 12:24 and 12:35 a.m. on that morning. And I still don't know exactly where you were during those time periods, because I've asked you where you were exactly at that time. But if you were not within arm's length of John O'Keefe, you are not a suspect. You could not have done this. Colin's not there. He wasn't within arm's length, and he had no motive. You don't need a motive to kill someone, but you need opportunity. You have to be within arm's length. So eliminate everyone that's not within arm's length.
To me, there's one conspiracy that is what happened that night, and then there's the other one that was lazy police work, planting evidence type thing that got a lot of people involved who then were like, well, now I'm stuck. We put taillight on the yard, and then it turns out it wasn't Karen, but now the taillight's on the yard, so I have to stick with this story. Otherwise, I'm admitting that I planted evidence.
Yeah, I initially had thought it was Proctor that planted the evidence, and I didn't necessarily have any evidence to support that. But you have to realize, Brian Higgins just killed somebody. By 7 a.m, this guy gets a lifeline. He finds out that Karen thinks she may have hit him. The Jeep plays a huge part in it because he makes it a huge part. Clearly, the Jeep was not parked in front of the house. Every one of them lied about that. If you said it was parked in the front, then you lied about it. There's no false memory. It was never in front. So the question is, why did Higgy Bear lie about the location of that Jeep?
You did not see a Jeep with a snowplow on the front parked in between you.
I did not.
You certainly did not see a full-sized Jeep Wrangler outfitted with a snowplow between the SUV and Ricky's truck.
I did not. And I took a left into the driveway, and there was a Jeep there.
And after the Jeep was the SUV.
Fairview, maybe by our mailbox.
Exactly where was your Jeep in front of that house?
By the mailbox. Around equal with the mailbox.
Did any car pull in between Ricky's truck and the SUV when you were sitting behind the SUV?
No, sir. By the mailbox.
You didn't see a Jeep?
No, sir.
With a big old snowplow on the front of it?
No, sir, I did not. By the mailbox.
That car was never between your car and the SUV, was it?
I never saw any other vehicle in between us.
And I don't have a definitive answer. Now, Corey thinks that either the murder occurred inside the Jeep or in front of the Jeep, and I'm on that theory too. That Jeep could have caused the laceration in the back of John's head, and that's why the location of the Jeep is important to Higgins. I believe Higgins parked all the way to the right in front of the garage. My working theory is that the punch took place in front of that Jeep because there were so many people that were looking outside that front window. It had to happen sort of out of view, and I don't believe it happened in the house. If you want to know how obsessed you and I are, you sent me one of your stalking videos that you took passing by 34 Fairview. I know Higgins did it. It's just a matter of where. If his girly Jeep was parked in front of that garage right there to the right, then it is so plausible that John could have been laying there and Ricky didn't see it and Hen McCabe didn't see it by looking out. And then eventually Brian Albert has to get in there and move that body.
It is possible that that gate was left open. To me, it is possible that Brian's on the back deck letting Chloe out. Chloe sees a confrontation happening in that spot right there. That gate was left open. Or Higgins opened the gate or whatever and didn't realize that the dog was going to be there. Something happened when she went to his back.
LMK when you're here. Here.
There was only one time that the defendant and I ever interacted on a one-on-one basis. It was just a weird experience. I don't think either one of us finished a drink.
When they finally get to meet in person, there is no chemistry there. We've all been there. I mean, I usually am on the Brian Higgins side. After they meet, Brian Higgins asked,
Home. Alive? Cool. Thoughts?
Question mark?
Maybes. You? What? You asked my thoughts. You didn't answer. I don't know my thoughts. Okay, I think I get it.
Whenever you have to ask a girl, how did it go after a date or a potential hookup, it didn't go well. And you could tell Karen was done with it after that.
Colin lied on the stand multiple times. He is a liar.
Well, you have to show me where little Colin lied. I went through his testimony. He had a lot of I don't knows.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. No, I don't remember.
Were you ever told in preparation for your testimony, if you start to get stumped or nervous, just say, I don't remember?
I don't remember.
But if you want to really see the art of deception, you have to watch Higgins and Brian Albert.
Mama Albert girl said, is Colin's life.
It's not your fault. It's not my fault that we initially believed Colin was involved. That's how the defense presented their case in trial number 1.
Fuck you, KO, bang bang, bang bang. I will fuck you up, I will beat your ass. That's what your right knuckles look like, correct?
Correct. That I would fuck them up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you are sure, sir.
That I'll strike.
And Karen was 2 votes away from being in prison for 20 years. You have to be able to prove things to me, and I will change my mind if you ever showed me evidence of it.
Why would they go to such great lengths just to cover for Brian Higgins?
It's not they. So don't get confused. Even Brian Albert tried to throw that at you in their big Dateline special.
You do realize for this conspiracy to be true, it would take 30 to 50 people, multiple cops on 2 different police departments, multiple civilians, the medical examiner, firemen, EMTs, you name it. That's how preposterous and silly this is. And great question. I don't understand how people bought this.
It's no big conspiracy. It's 2 friends, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, are the only ones that know besides Berkowitz, and Berkowitz is dead. So there's 3 people in this.
It would take 30 to 50 people.
It was Higgins, Brian Albert, and Berkowitz. And you could not risk Yuri Buchanek.
Sergeant Buchanek.
Sergeant Buchanek.
How do I say it?
Buchanek.
Trooper Buchanek.
Or Proctor.
Cunt.
Knowing this. There's no reason Higgins would ever risk his life and put it in their hands. All you literally had to do was tell Yuri and Proctor to look that way, and then Berkowitz throws the taillight on the ground. That's what happened, literally.
Jackson slams Cox.
That's what Lawyer You Know said?
That was one of his titles the other day.
How cute. Must be nice being pretty. It's not even that funny. I'm just jealous.
Mary Malarkey said what you just said in the waterfall video. Brian Albert mirrored Higgins's hand gestures exactly, yet somehow it never gets mentioned. That makes me think Brian was ready to assist in the fight too.
And look at that. Both Brian Albert and Brian Higgins are taunting General Keefe, telling him to meet me outside. It could be malpractice. Had she been convicted, that your attorneys missed one of the very few people that could have killed John O'Keefe, threatening someone on video. Do you know how crazy it is to have that piece of evidence? This case would be completely different. Lawyer You Know said that. I'm the one who has to be funny. He's good looking. He doesn't need to be funny. That good looking son of a bitch.
It was like when he said raw dogging and didn't know what he was talking about.
Doesn't it make you angry like there's some good looking people in the world like that good looking?
Why would that make me angry?
I don't know. It's not fair. You're not jealous? I'm a very jealous person.
No, I don't get angry.
Listen, you're a girl. You get hit on all the time. For guys, we never get hit on. So for Higgins to get a message out of the blue from Weed Whacker.
Hey, Brian, it's the Weed Whacker.
Hey, Brian, it's Weed Whacker.
And how did you respond to that?
Question mark.
It's a miracle for us guys. Like, it's a miracle. That never happens. Peter probably gets 30 of those a day. But for regular looking guys like us, we don't get that. It was so suspect to him. I mean, he doesn't have game at all, but He was also suspect. What the hell is going on? Karen was looking elsewhere.
Wait, what do you mean he doesn't have game? He invited Karen to a benefit for somebody who got shot in the head.
I'm going to Nashville next month. One of our guys got shot in the head. You guys should come.
Vince loves ruffling feathers. I like that you're sharing your ideas. I think it's helpful to, somebody had said, like, these are the kind of conversations where it's like, I'm not debating somebody that's like, she was drunk, she hit him, she left him to die. We're aligned on a lot, and then it is just how you interpret the rest of the, like, testimony that is interesting.
And I don't know if Peter said raw dogging. Did he not know what it meant?
He was like, everybody follow along while my nephew raw dogs a flight. What do you think of the red paint spilled in the garage? I think this is so interesting because either this whole thing already happened, they were already in the news when they moved. Either they left something in the garage that looks like a crime scene. Like, that picture is like creepy looking. Or,
I can't do this show if you're not going to pronounce garage correctly.
A sally port is a garage, essentially.
Garage.
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 A garage. A sally port is like a garage.
I totally agree. So like, it looks like that could have been the crime scene.
Or you covered up a crime scene in a way that looks like a crime scene, which is arguably weirder. I don't even know. Or somebody just spilled something and it was an accident and they didn't think twice about it.
Nothing occurred on that front lawn. They would have saw it. They would have saw John's body. So either he's in the garage, in the house, or on the side, concealed by the Jeep. There's only 3 places it could be. It is a working theory. You would have thought that they would have tested the garage for any type of DNA.
Higgins sat in his Jeep waiting on John's arrival. That's why Higgy kept messaging John O'Keefe. Brian Albert let Chloe out back. John O'Keefe walked up, dog jumps the fence.
That is the theory of my lovers. I don't want to reveal her name. She happens to be a lesbian. She has that theory too. First of all, we have to talk about, I fell in love with a lesbian. I'll admit it to everyone here, Corey. I do really love her. And she has the same, and people respect her theories. And I want to say this before we go further. Corey works for a large law firm, and they do insurance defense. They don't necessarily want their employees and their attorneys filing the things that she did. But if it wasn't for Corey and her diligence and her action, we never would have got that document that everyone's dealing with regard to Commissioner Koch. So I want to thank Corey, and I hope her law firm understands how important she is to this puzzle, this fight, because unfortunately for us, there are not people in Massachusetts designated to solve crimes. So we have to do it. Would you stop with those stupid things? I'm talking about the girl that I'm in love with, and all you're doing, I'm about to cry.
I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. It's almost embarrassing that Corey had to help break the case.
Corey's that level as Bob Alessi. The reason Karen Reed is free is because of Bob Alessi. There's no reason his law firm, DLA Piper, would ever allow Bob to take this case individually, but for being it pro bono and the publicity. But we need Corey here and on our side. And I just hope that her firm recognizes what she has done.
What she is doing right now is not something that like any lawyer could just start to take on, because she has the entire background of what happened in the trial. She knows the timelines, like the way that she described how she narrowed down what to request in the MSP lawsuit based on Kelly Dever saying it was after the first trial. That's not something that anybody can do. That is something that Corey Hopkins was specifically kind of like cut out for, with her like passion for this. And I agree with you that I hope that her firm recognizes like what she's doing for so many people.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, knowing the business, they don't want her to do this. They don't. They generally represent towns. They represent big corporations. But there is an opportunity here to solve a crime. There's a murderer still free.
Brian Higgins.
And we need her, and we need her firm to understand this. The point is, we need her. We're trying to solve a crime here. There's no one in Massachusetts to solve crimes, so we have to do it. This crime was very simple to solve because it took place within a very small area over a very short period of time with a very limited amount of suspects. One or more of these 10 people has to be the killer of John O'Keefe. That's how easy this is. Once you remove the kids and the McCabe's, you're down to just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog, she didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
So that leaves just two suspects, Brian Albert and Higgy Bear. But of the two Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe. And that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear. Once we had all the facts and didn't jump to conclusions, do you see how easy it was to solve this crime? We are not going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
I kissed Brian Higgins the other night. I love you, gay Jeff.
I didn't do it.
Dude.
I had nothing to do with John's death.
I told you, I didn't do it.
No need to thank me, Alan. Just bow when you see me.